What's up guys, Chaz here. If you're new to my channel, I basically teach photography tips so you can better your photography. If you'd like to take a look at my work, my name is CM Visuals on Instagram. I will leave a link down in the description for you. So today I'm going to go over skin tones and how I adjust them. And I actually use Photoshop and I use Lightroom both depending on the situation. And I'm going to take you through 4 different types of skin tones. Alright, so stay tuned. Alright, so let's get started. So I'm going to take you through several photos with 7 different skin tone types so I can show you basically what colors you need to adjust to tweak the skin tones. So I typically start in Lightroom. You can start in Camera Raw. You can even use Photoshop if you want to. But pretty much this is the same type of strategy I use when coloring skin. So I'm going to go down to the HSL color tab right here and go ahead and click that. And generally I like it set up like this so you can click through these. And I typically start with the oranges because that usually is the color that will change the skin tones. And as you can see, as I change the hues, his skin tones adjust. And depending on your style and what you like, you can kind of decide where you want to go with the skin tones and how far you want to go. So let's say boost the saturation up a little bit. And so let's say use a little bit more orange than normal than you like, but you want to kind of keep that contrast in the color, and I like to adjust to move the yellows too. So I'll show you before and after. And as you do change these colors, anything in with yellow, orange, or any of these colors that change the skin tones will change the entirety of the photo, so always be aware of that. But typically it doesn't bother the photo too much because I typically use those colors anyway. So let's go to the next skin tone type. And again, you would go back and adjust these oranges. You can even adjust the reds if you like. Skin tones pretty much have the same color base. And this is kind of personal preference. If you want to make the person a little bit tanner, you obviously would go a little harder on the skin tones. Or if you want their skin to be a little bit less tan, maybe a little bit more on the pinkish side. I've kind of seen different types, but that's up to you and your style. So before and after. And so I'm going to adjust a little bit more. And this is all just kind of playing around, moving the tab, what looks good, what doesn't. Typically, you want to keep the sliders. If you're moving the slider to the left and you're dealing with red, orange, and yellow, you want to kind of keep that same movement. So before and after, certain skin tones won't make too much of a difference, but you can kind of tell that this is changing a little bit. You can even go up to temperature as well and note that, and see as I made it a little bit more warmer, his skin changed. So then instead of dialing that back, you go back down. And so it's got a little bit more red. So you go to red and maybe switch that up. Maybe pull saturation there. It's all about playing with the dials and for you to decide what you like best. All right, let's go to the next one. So this is a picture's a little darker, so I'm brighten it up a little bit so you can see. And again, going back to the oranges, reds, and yellows and adjusting them. And as you can see, skin tones are changing. Some photos won't even need skin tone adjustments, but depending on how you color the rest of your photo, you might need to make adjustments. Like if I were to make this one cooler, I might need to make the adjustments on the skin or in the colors for her skin to appear a little bit more natural. And same with this one. And always remember when you're making color adjustments, for instance, if like the one I did previously, if it's too yellow or it's too cool, instead of dialing back what you originally adjusted, you can always go in these color tabs and basically play with the colors and kind of work out the color you're trying to get. So by adjusting these, you know, certain colors that you are mixing are going to change and make different colors. So I'm going to show you an instance of that, and I'm going to import one of these to Photoshop. So I'll import this last one. All right, so let's say I have this photo and I'm going to throw like a gradient map on here. It's a little bit, say, let's use that one. Okay, so it's got a blue tint to it, and I want to add additional colors. What you can also do in Photoshop is you can go to selective color, and you can either go to the neutrals and adjust. In this case, it's magentas and yellows, and you could see how it's changing. It's focusing on his skin and any color that basically has to do with those two tabs. Say you went a little bit overboard in the red. What you can do is go to the reds, but you still like the rest of the color of the photo. You can go to the reds and boost some of that yellow up, and maybe pull back some of the magentas and the reds. And you can basically adjust the skin tones how you see fit and what looks more natural while still keeping the rest of your photo the way you want it to be. And as well in Photoshop, if you don't particularly like the coloring everywhere else, but you do like the color on the skin, you can mask it. So we'll invert that layer. And basically what you do is just go with the brush and just go over that skin. Just go over his skin. So you can do this if you only want it on the skin. If you like the color you made, but you rather keep the same colors in the photo as a whole, and now you just have that coloring on his skin. And what you can do with that is you can mask it. Show you again. So you basically invert the layer, you go to your brush tool, then you want to make sure that this is set to black, or sorry, this is set to white. And then you go in there and you paint over the areas that you want adjusted. So in this case, it will just be his skin. And if, say, you've gone a little too far, you clip it over to black, and then you take away what you don't want. All right, so that's how I adjust skin tones, and it's pretty much the same colors for any skin tone in general. We basically went through different types of skin tones. This works for any race. You just got to focus on the reds, orange, and the yellows, and always keep that in mind, especially even if you're in Photoshop. Always keep that in mind. Those two colors kind of go hand in hand and they control each other in regards to skin tones. And if you want to add a little bit more yellow to skin that's a little red, you can do that, kind of give a little bit of orange color. Just keep in mind the colors that mix and what colors they make. All right, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think.